Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Jefferson Robbins, in all this week for Grant Olson. We've got a lot of news to get to tonight, but before we start with that, let's take a quick look outside our weather window at the gorgeous day that was hatched upon us. Kind of surprisingly, it worked out to be a beautiful day in the Wenatchee Valley after some light precipitation in some areas overnight. This is the view from our Coles Corner Sky-Fi cam, and you can see lovely snow-kissed mountains there in the distance. Really sunny outside. It's deceptive, though, because once you step out into it, you realize, hey, it's almost winter. Low 40-degree temperatures today, and we were expecting more temperatures in the 40s throughout the week. Obviously, that could lead to some freezing on sidewalks and roadways this week, so watch your step and drive with care. Dan Kuntz will be along a little bit later tonight with your full weather forecast. But right now, a few of the stories we're following for you this evening. COVID-19 continues to dominate the central Washington landscape, leading to further deaths in the Wenatchee Valley and Okanogan County. Criminal courts are responding by shutting down jury trials for public safety for the remainder of 2020, and a new federal lawsuit says communicable diseases pose too much risk for Washington's wild animal herds as well. First, we begin tonight in Chelan County, which has now lost its 29th victim to COVID-19. This patient, a man in his 40s. The Chelan Douglas Health District reported that death today. That brings the total known deaths from coronavirus in the two counties, Chelan and Douglas, to 36. In neighboring Okanogan County, public health officials announced Monday that 11 residents of a senior care facility in Tonasket have now died from COVID-19. A total of 32 residents at North Valley Extended Care have tested positive for the virus. The health district said numerous employees at the facility also tested positive, with 2 hospitalized. Caregivers and residents are currently under quarantine. The first word of the outbreak at the facility came on November 15th. Okanogan County's total deaths from the virus now number 26. The number of COVID-19 patients at Central Washington Hospital jumped to 29 on Monday, with 6 of those patients on ventilators in the intensive care unit. 15 of those hospitalized with the virus are Chelan County residents. 2 are from Douglas County, 8 from Grant County, and 2 from Okanogan County. Confluence Health says it tested 787 people for the coronavirus over the Thanksgiving weekend. 14.3% of those tests returned positive. A reminder, anyone can have COVID-19 and not know they are contagious. The virus is easily spread through close contact, and health officials say masking, social distancing, and refraining from large group gatherings are key to stopping the transmission. While local court systems briefly restarted jury trial proceedings in September, when COVID-19 case numbers were lower, but now judges say the risks are once again too great. Superior courts in both Chelan and Douglas counties announced they're suspending all scheduled trials through the end of 2020. Chelan County began last week to reschedule trials for early January, and Grant County judges say they'll try to begin trials again January 11th. Grant County's presiding judge, David Estudillo, says, quote, "The well-being of our jurors, litigants, and staff is our utmost concern. Suspending jury trials is the right decision at this time." Now, coming up next, an appeals court overturns a Douglas County juvenile rape sentence, saying the judge mishandled the case. And environmental groups say bighorn sheep are put at risk of disease when domestic sheep graze in their territory. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office, dentist. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked, like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging in Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A state appeals court has overturned the conviction of a 14-year-old East Wenatchee boy for third-degree rape. The boy was convicted at trial last year in Douglas County Superior Court, but the Court of Appeals ruled today that Judge Brian Huber twice allowed inadmissible testimony from the alleged victim's parents. The three-judge appellate panel says that testimony should have been stricken after lawyers objected. Huber sentenced the youth last October to 30 days confinement and 2 years probation. The appellate decision struck down that sentence and ordered a new trial. A new lawsuit against the Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest claims that grazing allotments for domestic sheep herds pose a disease risk to the native bighorn sheep on Chelan Butte and elsewhere. Two environmental groups, the Wild Earth Guardians and the Western Watersheds Project, say domestic grazing increases the risk of bacterial pneumonia in wild bighorns, like the October outbreak that forced wildlife officers to euthanize 12 bighorns in the Quillamine herd near Ellensburg. The suit says 4 herds are at risk from grazing practices in the National Forest, amounting to almost half the state's wild bighorn population. A federal judge in Spokane is being asked to revoke those allotments. The Grant County PUD is keeping its current power rates into 2021. The commissioners approved their $380 million budget last week without raising charges on ratepayers for a third consecutive year. They accomplished that even with a $17 million increase in operations and maintenance expenses and a $2 million boost to the capital budget. The PUD expects to take in $211 million in retail energy revenues this upcoming year and almost $78 million from power trades on the wholesale market. Now, the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission will consider a measure Friday to transfer 174 acres in Grant County from Washington State Parks to the Department of Fish and Wildlife. The move would create more uniform land ownership within the Columbia Basin Wildlife Area, as well as provide a new water access to Lake Lenoir just north of Soap Lake. The commissioners will take public comment on that proposal during their 10 a.m. virtual meeting. You can log into that discussion through the Fish and Wildlife website. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, DNR takes you out to visit one of the Columbia Basin's largest shrub step preserves. That plus weather and sports are still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. After a 2015 wildfire destroyed the majority of the natural vegetation in the two-step natural area preserve in Douglas County, invasive plants moved in, making the area even more fire-prone. Allison Morrow of the Department of Natural Resources explains how the state has been working to restore native vegetation on the preserve on the Northwest Columbia Plateau.
Hi, I'm Allison Morrow with your DNR report. The two-step natural area preserve covers almost 400 acres and contains the largest remaining area of high-quality shrub grassland ecosystems in the northwest portion of the Columbia Basin. But in 2015, a portion of it burned in a wildfire, and a lot of non-native species have taken root. Those non-native plants make the area even more prone to increased wildfire.
Where we're standing at now is one of our treatment areas. This area had a lot of non-native annual grasses, particularly cheatgrass. Fire return intervals here are anywhere from like 40 to 80 years. And so with the cheatgrass, that increases that frequency. It adds more fuel.
So crews with the Department of Natural Resources and the Washington Conservation Corps have begun restoration work.
We came in here with a light herbicide treatment that killed the annual plants, but left a lot of the sagebrush and some of the perennial bunch grasses. The other thing with fire and sagebrush, sagebrush doesn't typically sprout back after a fire. It has to come in on seed or be planted into it. We collected all of the seed on site for these plants, and then we had a local nursery in Peshastin grow those out. And now we get to plant them out here.
Now they're planting the species that are historically found here. About 1,000 flowering plants and 500 sagebrush plants.
They smell nice. Certainly pleasant to work with them.
Nice.
I have worked with plants that are less pleasant than these.
The area is not only a research site, so scientists can study how it responds to fire, it's also important habitat for birds like the sage sparrow and sage thrasher.
It's a beautiful landscape. Dan Kuntz has even more outdoor natural beauty for you to enjoy now as he reports on the Central Washington Weather Outlook. Dan?
And a good Tuesday. It's hard to believe November is already in the books. We have welcomed December with bountiful sunshine for everybody in north central Washington, and that includes the Lake Wenatchee area. Take a look at that gorgeous view from our Coles Corner camera. You can just barely make out Fish Lake. Obviously, a very tip end of Lake Wenatchee is within view. Dirty Face, covered in snow. Beautiful view from a beautiful area. The Lake Wenatchee area on a gorgeous start to the final month of 2020. Bountiful sunshine today. Going to do it again tomorrow. Things going to change just a little bit. The number one weather story, high pressure. And high pressure in late fall and early winter usually means morning clouds and fog and afternoon sun. And that's what we're looking at for the foreseeable future. It's a big ridge of high pressure. Details are on the way. Again, beautiful view from our Coles Corner camera overlooking the greater Lake Wenatchee area. All right, let's take a look at the almanac and what we looked at today. About 44. It was a beautiful day yesterday, 47. A little cooler today for the simple reason that it was a little bit cooler for the overnight low. As you can see, 30 degrees. Still talking about that winter of 1985, that bitterly cold winter when we were below zero for, it seemed forever before we finally warmed up. 8 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. We're losing, again, about 2.5 to 3 minutes of daylight each day as we get closer to the first day of winter, which is coming up on December 21st. So a friendly reminder, it's still autumn, although you can still see quite a bit of snow on our shot here from Lake Wenatchee. All right, let's talk about high temperatures. Again, a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing over the last couple of days because the overnight lows are going to get cooler. It takes a little bit while for the sun to warm up the earth. Moses Lake will top off at 40 tomorrow. Ephrata at 40, Quincy 39, Wenatchee right around 41, 42. Cashmere obviously has to deal with a few more shade and shadows, so not quite as warm in Cashmere. Leavenworth and the Lake Wenatchee area, of course, you just saw, they'll top off at 36 tomorrow. And up in Omak, our friends to the north, they'll top off at 38. degrees. Again, the big weather story is high pressure, big ridge of high pressure, and it's centered over Montana, and it is, according to the National Weather Service, just a monster, and it's just going to sit there. So what does that mean? Any kind of system, any system at all, coming out the Pacific Ocean is going to bump into that high pressure ridge and go elsewhere. So we are looking at quite a bit of sunshine for the rest of the day today, quite a bit of sunshine on Wednesday, high of about 41 degrees. But now we're going to start talking about that patchy freezing fog and low clouds in the morning, because there's nothing going to be stirring up the atmosphere. The lid will be on, and that means each day a little bit more patchy freezing fog and a few more clouds in the morning hours. Right around noonish or so, it'll start burning off. And again, it is still autumn. We're not winter yet, and so we have a little bit more daylight, which is going to allow the sun to warm up the earth a little bit. Patchy freezing fog again in the morning right through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Same scenario, not going to change. In fact, they say this is one of the biggest ridges of high pressure they've ever seen, and it's centered in Montana, and it's going to gradually work its way west. And again, it's just going to sit there, the little beyond the valley. All the storm systems that may be lined up out in the Pacific Ocean is going to have a chance to pay us a visit. It's going to bump right into that high pressure ridge and go elsewhere. So again, kind of like we normally see in January and February, except we're not going to have that really bad air inversion where the fog and the clouds just lay down there and they never quite burn off. That's because the days are longer, so the sun is going to be warming us up a little bit. Again, that's the weather story. Morning clouds and fog, afternoon sunshine starting on Thursday. Bountiful sunshine for the rest of the day today. Well, what's left of it is done now. And then we'll do it again on Wednesday, maybe a few more clouds Wednesday. And then starting on Thursday, the scenario will repeat itself over and over for at least the next 5 days. Morning clouds, patchy freezing fog, burning off. Late morning to bountiful sunshine for the most part in the afternoon. A little bit of a tug of war. That's going to start breaking down maybe on Monday or Tuesday as the ridge will finally begin to exit, and that will allow a few more storm systems perhaps to visit our way. But basically, we're just going to hit Control-Alt-Delete and just do it over and over again with morning clouds. Afternoon sun starts Thursday, really going to last all the way through Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures very consistent, right around normal. Right around normal is 37, 38 degrees. That's what we're going to be looking at. So there you go. It's basically what we've been talking about. Sunshine for the rest of the day today. A little bit of patchy fog, no big deal. We can handle it. Topping off at 44, 41. For our high on Wednesday. Again, a little bit cooler because the overnight lows will be in the 20s. And then morning clouds and fog, afternoon sun for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Maybe a few more clouds doing battle with the sun on Sunday and Monday, but that high pressure ridge is large and in charge, and it's not going anywhere. So there's your, I guess the best way to put the weather in a word, stable. There you go. All right, you're going to take a break. Hey, Eric Granstrom is back. Can't wait to see Eric again, and more with Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condata. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condata.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. Thank you to Dan and everybody else for filling in while I was on vacation. Had a great hunt with my dad. We didn't harvest a deer, but we certainly harvested a lot of memories that'll last for a lifetime. Well, the Seahawks moved into sole possession of the first place in the NFC West last night with a 23-17 win over the Eagles. Seattle's defense held Philly to under 100 yards rushing, converted 6 sacks, had an interception. Coach Pete Carroll was thrilled to go cross-country and get the 8th win of the season.
It was a good, tough win tonight. Really happy to see a couple things in the big sense. We shut them out with the football tonight, pitched a goose egg for the offense, which is always where it starts. The defense did a fantastic job all night long, really started fast, stayed with it. Unfortunately, we slopped that last drive in there and give them a chance to get in there, but the whole night was really good. I don't know the numbers other than the 6 sacks, but we were in control, and it was great to see our guys play like that and play consistently. Again, like last week, a lot of corrections, a lot of things fixed during the game, a lot of great communication. We've taken a real nice step forward, and I'm hoping that we can just keep building on it.
For the second game in a row, the Seahawks defense held an opposing team to under 270 yards passing. Quarterback Shaquille Griffin says Seattle is improving as players get healthy and play with each other more.
Actually, Jamal brought it up during practice. People can't say how many games that this actual secondary actually played together. At one point where someone else was hurt, and there was a point where then I got hurt. Quentin Dunbar got hurt. It was so much going on. We never really got a chance to build the chemistry together because everybody was, in at certain times in certain periods of this season. And now that we finally getting everybody back healthy, we finally trying to hit our stride, and we ready to make that run. We on this back stretch, we can make that run, start build that chemistry, because we can only get better from here, and that's the best part about it. We've been playing whatever we've been doing for the last couple games, but now we're starting to get everybody back healthy and start to really build that chemistry. You can see it. We're talking more, we're enjoying it more. It's just that energy is different when all of us is out there at the same time.
Seattle now has 12 sacks in their past 3 games, including 6 last night. Jamal Adams led the way with a sack and 7 combined tackles. He says they continue to build confidence.
We're playing with a lot of swag. We're playing with a lot of confidence. We know when we step on the field, we're gonna try to take the ball away. We're gonna get a sack. We're gonna get a pick, and then we're gonna invite everybody to the party, man. That's what we do. We just invite everybody to the party, man. So it's a great feeling. It's a great win. Obviously those guys did a lot of talking on that other side of the field, but at the end of the day, we're not in the choir, man. We just come out and produce and win ball games.
Okay. Meanwhile, DK Metcalf eclipsed the 1,000-yard receiving mark on the season with 10 catches for 177 yards. In doing so, it became the fastest Seahawk in history to collect 1,000 receiving yards. After the game, however, he wanted to laud the defense.
Nobody's talking about the defense enough, in my opinion. They've been playing their butts off from, the back end to our corners to linebackers, and, we're getting to the quarterback every game right now. So, our defense is playing unstoppable right now.
Russell Wilson completed 22 of 31 passes for 230 yards and a touchdown. The 9th-year pro out of Wisconsin celebrated his 32nd birthday Sunday. He said he was thrilled with the win as a gift, but don't get him a cake.
Yeah, so I guess we got a win, and I think that's all I need, and just my family.
Have you come around on birthday cake, or are you still not a big birthday cake guy?
I'm not a huge birthday cake guy. I don't know. I'm not a massive cake person. The only cake that I absolutely love is which we had at our wedding, me and C, is red velvet cheesecake, and so that's probably like my favorite cake, But yeah, I guess I'm more, if anything, I'm probably more of a chocolate chip cookie guy. Warm chocolate chip cookies is probably my favorite thing.
I'm a chocolate chip cookie guy as well. Chris Carson able to find the end zone in his first game back after missing 4 games with a foot injury. He and his coach were both happy to have him back on the field.
It was hard missing all those games, you know what I mean? But felt good being back out there with the guys and help contribute to a win. The touchdown run, the O-line did a great job, you know what I mean, opening that hole. And, you know what I mean, I seen the end zone, so my game is physical, so I wanted to get in, so made that happen.
It's great to see Chris Carson back. Ran like a monster out there. The touchdown run was fantastic. DK has a huge night. I heard that he went over 1,000 yards. I don't know if that is. Yeah, that's a cool thing to have happen this early in the season. What a big year he's having, and a big night tonight. They played great.
Seattle improved to 8-3 with the win and moved into first place all alone in the NFC West. Seahawks return home Sunday to host the New York Football Giants at Lumen Field. Well, checking the rest of the NFC West scoreboard, thanks to our friends at Les Schwab. Nick 50-yard field goal as time expired, and the New England Patriots edged the Arizona Cardinals 20-17 on Sunday. Patriots won despite Cam Newton throwing just 84 yards and 2 interceptions. Robbie Gould connected on a 42-yard field goal as time expired to lift San Francisco over Los Angeles 23-20. Nick Mullins passed for 253 yards and led 2 late-scoring drives in his first victory as a starter since September. Niners will play the rest of their season in Arizona after Santa Clara County imposed coronavirus restrictions that makes it impossible for football to be played in San Francisco's California home. Well, Haley Van Lith is already making an impact as a freshman for the Louisville Cardinals. The Kashmir grad had a double-double in her second career game with Louisville as the Cardinals dominated Eastern Kentucky 101-58. Van Lith scored 20 points and had 11 rebounds. During the COVID shutdown, Haley worked on her outside shooting, and it seems to be paying off. She was 5 for 9 from beyond the arc on Sunday. In 2 games for the number 5 Cardinals, Haley is averaging 16.5 points and 9.5 rebounds. For her efforts, Van Lith was named the ACC Freshman of the Week. How about Haley? And here's what we have later on this week on the NCWLIFE channel as far as sports is concerned. It begins with Hockey Night on Thursday. We'll air the Wenatchee Wild against Cowichan Valley game from last January 17th at the Town Toyota Center. We'll head to the mats on Friday night for Eastmont and Wenatchee Wrestling from January 30th. That gets underway at 7 o'clock. Then on Saturday, Eastmont hosts Sunday Side girls basketball at 2. The boys get underway at 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Welcome back from Deer Camp, and I'm glad you showered before you came in. Finally from us tonight, the Sage Hills trails above Wenatchee are closed for the season as of today. The annual December 1st closure of the popular hiking area helps protect vital winter habitat for white-tailed deer and other animals in the foothills. The closure also means Chelan County will be closing the gates on Horse Lake Road. In addition, the county will close Oklahoma Gulch Road near Entiat on Tuesday for the season. These closures are expected to last until April 1st. Let's check in now with Dan Kuntz to hear about what's in the hopper for tomorrow morning's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Jefferson. Join me for a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got everything you're going to need to start your Wednesday. We'll have the news. We'll have sports. We'll have that all-important weather forecast. Things kind of quiet, kind of stable from Mother Nature's perspective. We'll have the obscure holiday. We'll have Today in History. We'll got some celebrity birthdays. And by golly, Mike McNalty's got an opinion. He's got an opinion about just about everything, and you're entitled to it. All of that and everything else you need to start your Wednesday live and local. We're live here at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. I can't believe it's December already. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or on our website, ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. You can send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, or give us a call, 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Jefferson Robbins. I'll be back here with you tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 10. Stay healthy until then. Don't forget your mask.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.